Hi everyone, my name is Rachel, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is where I make scrapbooking process videos and also do live scrap and chats every month. I hope you enjoy my little corner of the big crafty world, and if you'd like to watch more, please subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell to always know when I have a new video. If you could also give me a thumbs up, that would be super awesome. Alright everyone, let's start scrapping!
Hey everyone, so I am here with another scrapbooking layout. Today, this is a 2-photo layout. I'm actually going to be working with a sketch from Ellie's studio. It is a paid content, so I'm not going to share it, but I will link below the class. It's a digital class. It's called From Sketch to Finish Volume 5. I will link that in the description box below. So if you want to pick it up, you can. I am working with Heidi Swap's Old School. I have the paper pads and tags, the die cuts, the charms, and the stickers. I always forget that the backside of this sticker sheet is filled with label stickers. So my hope is to actually use that today. These are the 2 photos I have. This is my nephew, and he has a mirrored closet in his office, and he often takes his social media selfies in it, and he had taken this one, and I'm like, dude, if you're gonna post something, would you mind making that bed? It's not his bedroom, it's kind of like, it's what he lays down and watches TV or plays a Switch on. But I'm like, just throw the covers up, you know? Just give it an homage to, hey, I do occasionally not make my bed. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get you guys put on fast forward. Before I do, if I could ask everyone to flick me a thumbs up, that would be super awesome. It just lets YouTube know you liked my video. All right, everybody, let's get going. Hey everyone, so I'm going to point out for posterity's sake, my nephew actually makes his own bed, and that's actually not even something insisted upon. That was not a hill either his mother or I was willing to die on. He makes his own bed. He keeps a very clean bedroom. For some reason, the room he takes his selfies in would be the room where he's throwing a blanket on, you know, because he was cold when he was playing a Switch. I'm like, hey, could you, if you're gonna post that on social media, could you just make that bed, please? So this is a little bit of a longer video. It's got some stamping in it, a couple of mess ups where I do, and also I hadn't pre-picked my paper, so, which I normally sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Anyway, that square diamondy multicolor paper, I'm going to use that as a border. I'm going to stick very close to the sketch for this particular one. It's a grid sketch, which I don't normally do because I tend to prefer the off-center, the slightly messy, the askew layout, and grids just are so super clean to me. So when I end up doing a sketch of a grid layout, I almost always end up sticking really close to the grid layout, to the point where in this layout there are 3 photos. I don't have 3 photos, but I'm going to use one of those 4x4 cut-aparts, the Good Vibes I trimmed out, as what would be considered the 3rd photo, being the same shape and size as one of my 4x4 photos. So I've trimmed off a piece of paper, and that is like a light gray, light taupe paper. It's not white. So that comes into play later on when I make a mistake. So I go ahead, and this is one of my favorite papers from the line, this diamond paper. So I went ahead and gutted it because I'm like, I don't want to waste that whole paper because they're one-sided. So it's not like, you know, I've got a use for it elsewise. I can use all of this I want. So when I border a paper, what I do is I do the inner part of the paper I gutted, and then the outer part of the cardstock or maybe pattern paper that I'm putting on top, and that kind of gives it stickiness on both the inside and the outside, so hopefully you don't accidentally catch anything. Other people will do washi tape around the outside, around the backside, just to make sure it doesn't get caught on anything. It's just a matter of preference and what you prefer. So I'm going to go ahead and mat my 4x6 on this kind of abstract lightning paper. So I really love Heidi Swap lines for my nephew. Her aesthetic and his aesthetic are very similar. Actually, her brand new line that's coming out this spring, Summer Fun, Super Summer, I don't remember what it's called now. Like, just, I'm going to have to end up getting like a bunch of it because it just totally screams my nephew. So I'll be able to do layouts for him with that line. Like, I will be very happy with that. So, but with that picture, I really should have trimmed off the 1/4 inch above his head. That is not necessary for the photo. It's just the ceiling. I want to matte the good vibes because in the sketch, the width of the photo that goes on top, the 4x6 photo that goes on top of the 4x4 photo is the same width. So I matted the good vibes to match the 4x6 photo, but the length of it is too long. So I end up having to go back and trim down all of my mats, which is fine. It's no big deal in the scheme of things, but it just would have made my life a bit easier if I had realized that in the first place. It would be too tall and I would in fact need to trim things down. Once again, it's just nothing major or anything like that. It's just something that added on the time it took for me to make this layout, which is hilarious because it actually did take me quite a while. But as I said, I messed up a couple times. There was stamping, there was piercing of paper and adding of things. And so it just took me a longer bit to make this layout than originally thought. And well, then not originally thought, but then what it normally takes me to do a layout, especially considering when I say I'm stamping 4 letters. So it's not like I'm doing some massive stamping project on this. I am not. I am stamping literally 4 letters. So I just laugh at myself. So basically there's 4 quadrants to this grid paper. There's the 4x4 photo and title block. There's the 4x6 photo. There's the 4x4, which originally in the sketch is a photo, but I'm using as the cut apart with good vibes. And then there's what I call the embellishment section. And it's another 4x4 or 4¼ by 4¼ because it's matted. So, and that's where my journaling is going. I did end up using one of those label stickers. I was very happy about that. I chose the one that has the holographic on the side. And then I want everything to fit within that square. I mean, obviously it's not a square. It's an empty space, but I want it to stay within the parameters of the 4¼ by 4¼ cut apart and the 4¼ by 4¼ photo. So the top and then the right side of that. So I've got the journaling sticker down. And this is like, I'm making silly mistakes like knocking things over and pushing things to the side. And I do this throughout the entire layout. I do not know what was going on with me. I was still on steroids, so I was a little wackadoo. So I'm looking for title. Oh gosh, I got covering my mouth. I'm looking for title options. So I'm looking in my title builder. I could not remember if they had the word dude in there, and that's the word I wanted to use as part of my title. And they did not, in fact, have dude in there. So if anyone from LA Studio or anyone with any input to LA Studio, if you do another title builder, you should put dude in there. So I'm going to go somewhere else for the dude. But first what I'm going to do is go through below where the journaling is going to go, there is a space and I want to put some sort of embellishment in there. And my first thought was a flare, basically because I have a ton of them and I wanted to see if any of them would work. But the answer was no, none of them would work. So then I'm going through looking at the ephemera pieces, seeing if any of those will work, and I pull out one of the phrase embellishment ephemera, and I think it says something about you make me smile or always making me smile or something along those lines. There is a close-up photo of it when you get to the end after the layout is completed. So I spent an inordinate can't say that word apparently today, a long time looking through the ephemera pieces, and then I decide these palm trees are what I'm looking for. Now, obviously, there's nothing to do with palm trees in this layout, but like, once again, it fits my nephew's aesthetic. It fits his personality. It would not surprise me at all if he wound up in California or in an area in another state or another state or city that has that vibe. He's very laid back. He's passionate about things, but overall, he's just a laid back kind of guy. So I pull out another phrase, and this one says, "Love you forever," and that's another holographic color, so it's like the silvery color. And I like how those two with the sticker match the size of the label sticker where I'm going to do my journaling. Now, one of the things I really wanted to do was use one of these charms. I don't remember if this was a Happy Scrappy bag or if for some reason I just lost my mind and decided I needed to buy the charms. I'm not one for massive dimension on my page, so I do not know why I bought the charms, but I was bound and determined to use a charm, and I did in fact use a charm. For part of my title, I'm going to use these mini thickers. I originally really wanted to use the navy, but I don't have any E's, and I need 2 of them. I instead go for this rainbow alpha part, and so I'm spelling out the words make that bed for as the other part of my title besides the word dude. And I don't know if you guys saw yet, but the new collection by Paige Evans has another rainbow mini thicker, but rather than this more pastel one, it's a brighter color. So I was very happy about that. I will be definitely purchasing several of those because the mini thickers are one of my absolute favorites. I think they're the perfect size for joining words or for longer titles. They're great. So I pull out these Ellie Studio, oh sugar, these are older stamps. What is the name of them? Jordan alphabet stamp. So basically every other letter is either a mini polka dot or a diagonal stripe. And these are what I'm going to use to spell the word dude. I pull out my Concord and 9th Midnight ink, and I'm just making sure I have room for the make your bed portion of the title underneath the word dude. And I'm so sorry, but since my title starts with dude, I'm just going to say dude 70 million times during this video. I apologize. So obviously the D is used twice, so I have D-U-D-E, and here's where I make my big mistake. I pull out a B just so I can like space it, and then I put that E there just to make sure like it makes room, and I'm zooming with friends, I'm making sure there's enough room for the E, and I just pressed that way too hard into that ink. And I'm distracted, and I was even excited. Oh, I remember to move the E, and then I didn't remember to move the E. Sorry. I pressed too hard, and I'm like, crap. I cannot believe I did that. It's fine. I had a scrap of white cardstock. There's white on the inside of that label where I'm going to journal. I'm going to add another label as part of an embellishment. So what I did was I just went ahead and re-inked. I cleaned it off really well with my, I think that's a Pink and Main stamp scrubber. I need to wash it. But so I go ahead, and since I'm not stamping directly on the page now, I start with the D, and then I go ahead and do the U, and then the D again, and then I'm much more careful with the E this time around. So I'm going to explain what I'm going to do is then I'm going to trim this down, and then I'm going to take it over, and I just was so annoyed with myself. I used my triple banner punch from Stampin' Up, which cuts 3 different sizes of banner edges, and I think it's 1/2 inch, inch and a half or inch, inch and a half, and 2 inches. I don't remember which it is off the top of my head right now. So I just go ahead and I trim that down, but I do it over where my thing is. Like, I don't come back over to the video and do it on video. I was so annoyed with myself that I forgot to do that. Like, I was so annoyed with myself, and then when I was, watching this back, I'm like, I didn't do the triple banner punch on camera. I did it off camera. You dork. So I go ahead and get the rest of my title down, and it fit perfectly. I was like, hey, it's fine. I've got 3 elements of white. There's white in the border, pattern paper as well. So we're good. It's fine. We're not gonna, was it my first choice? Absolutely not, but it's fine. So here's where I'm going ahead and getting that charm used. I'm going to use the lightning charm, the abstract lightning on the 4x6 photo, the lightning on the mat of the 4x4 photo. I just thought the lightning rod was perfect. My nephew, like all children his age, I mean, they're not children anymore, they're adults, was obsessed with Lightning McQueen and Cars. Oh my God, I had to watch so much Mater, who is annoying to me, but that's another story. Anyway, so I just kind of poked 2 holes in it and then fed them through using the pokey tool as well. I trimmed that part out because it took me a bit longer to do it than I am willing to admit on camera. So I go ahead and I get the charm, and I like it. I'm happy with it. It makes sense to me. So I'm looking for one element to go beneath the journaling sticker. I'm also looking for the elements to go in the other 2 embellishment clusters. And as I said, I'm going to stick really close to how it is done on the actual sketch. I looked through the ephemera pieces again. There isn't really anything there that's going to work. As it's a grid layout, it just seems to me what I'm looking for is more dimension. So I go into my acrylic pieces and I pull out stars, which is actually what they use as in the sketch. So now, just so everyone understands, just because I use stars in the sketch does not mean you have to use stars on your layout. Quite often I will use something else when I'm using a sketch from what they use. But in this case, it worked really well. So the ones I have there, that pink one, that's an open one, the yellow one, the pink, the blue, and the clearish yellow one, those are all from Color Cast Designs. The one I'm using at the bottom, that white open one, that is LA Studio. And it just fit perfectly. It went right to the bottom of where that Good Vibes is. Before I glue it down, I am going to go ahead and do my journaling. And as I said at the beginning, it was just about, asking my nephew, hey, if you're going to post things on social media, would you mind making the bed behind you? I'm not going to make you make your bed, but which is funny because, as I said at the beginning, he does make his actual bed that he sleeps in. But could the ones that you're going to post in public, would you mind just throwing the covers up? Because literally all that's on there is a bottom sheet and a comforter. There's no top sheet. It's like in one pillow. That's it. So I'm debating whether I need something else after I glue all of these down using my liquid glue. I don't necessarily want to add spatters because I'm sticking really close with the layout, and it's such a grid layout. And since the outside border is really busy, I was like, I think it needs something else besides these acrylic stars, but I don't necessarily think it needs to be spatters. But that's my normal go-to, so that's what comes to my brain first. I decide in the end what it actually needs is enamel dots. So what I'm looking for are my navy enamel dots, which for some reason were hiding from me. So it takes me a while to find. This is where I'm looking. I'm like, it needs something. It needs something. It needed a bit of more blue. So that's why I wanted to bring in the navy. So I finally managed to find them, and that is going to be the last thing I add. I'm not going to add my normal. I've got 3 stars in the upper left-hand corner, so I'm adding 2 to the bottom to complete the star and circle, and then I just add 1 over on the left. That completes my layout for today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget, if you can flick me a thumbs up, that would be super awesome. Bye, everyone.